Hi parents, I wanted to do a video to help you with your child with writing. So the main thing with helping your child with writing is to help them become an independent writer. And part of that is choosing an idea about what to write about. So for children, oftentimes the concept or what they want to write about can be very daunting because they have all these ideas in their head. So helping your child narrow down on something that happens today, yesterday, recently in their memory, and then focusing in on that moment. So an example I have is that today I went on a walk with my dog and I want to think about what was interesting or funny or silly or scary, some kind of emotion. So as you're talking to your child about something to write about, you can kind of use that as your guide to what memories do they have or what stands out for them. So what I would do is, talk to, my child and say, oh, do you remember when we were out walking the dog? And that silly dog found the rabbit and then was trying to chase after the rabbit and yanked so hard on that leash that I didn't know if we were going to get our dog back because she yanked so hard and was wanting to chase it. Hey, you know what? That could be something we could write about. And then get your ideas going with your child and really focus in on that moment. And then have your child work on the illustration. So if I was in the classroom, I would model this for the class and I would say, okay, well, here's the rabbit. And I wanted to make it really small in the bushes because rabbits are small and I could barely even see the rabbit. And then here's my dog. And I wanted to make my body so I was leaning in toward the dog to show that she was pulling me. And then, this is the color of her leash. So this is how I, wanted to draw what we were doing today. And then as your child's writing, you want to help your child start right at the moment. And something I would do in the classroom is to say, something like, whoa. So it could be whoa or hey or oh no or something that really hooks the reader in. And I can say, what was that? So again, starting with a question, something to hook them in, because oftentimes young kids will want to say, I like, I think, I am. So we kind of break them of that and go right into the story. What was that? And I can say, Tahoe, comma, my dog pulled me hard. She saw a rabbit. She wanted to chase after it. And again, as your child, so you can kind of help model if you want for your child, if your child's really having a hard time, thinking about ideas or forming it into sentences. The main thing is that we want our children to be independent writers. So as your child is starting to write on this story, we don't want to jump in as adults and say, oh, no, that's not how you spell that. That's not how you spell the word pulled. If your child asks you how to spell it, you can use the sounds that they know, things around your house. So let's say for instance, the word pulled. And you can encourage your child, okay, how do we sound the word pulled? Old. So oftentimes they'll write a P, maybe a U, L, and then a D. And then they could say, Mom, is that how you spell pulled? And then you can say, yeah, I can see you wrote down the sounds to the word pulled. When we as adults start correcting the kids' spelling as they're writing, they turn to us every time they want to spell a word because they're afraid of making a mistake and then they don't think that they can spell it on their own. So we always want to put it back on them. If your child really insists on, Mom, please tell me how you spell the word, I really want to know, you can say, well, the book way to spell it is Pulled, and then you can help them and just put a little mini lesson in. That's because the D sound on pulled is spelled ED, or there's two L's. Or let's say the word hard. And if they went d, so oftentimes they might write HRD. They say, Mom, how do you spell it? You can say, oh, the R sound is spelled AR. Sometimes it's ER, IR, and this time it's AR. And then we always want to encourage them to use things like punctuation marks if it's exciting, periods at the end of their sentences, and then using those finger spaces after their words. And then, in my story, I don't have an emotion yet. And so let's say your child's starting to write and say, hey, sweetie, how did you feel when the dog was pulling me? And we knew that if she gets off the leash, sometimes she can just jet off into those bushes and we won't see her for a while. What were you feeling in that moment? And then your child can say, Mommy, I was scared that Tahoe wouldn't come back. Oh, you know what, sweetie? That's a great thing we can write into our story. And then that encourages your child to write back the emotion and say something like, I was worried she'd pull so hard she'd run into the bushes and get lost, or something like that. So, and then after your child's done with the story, then I would encourage your child to read it back to you. And that way that helps them to catch any kind of mistakes or edits or things like that. So they go, oh, I don't know what that says, Mom. I forgot that word, or I forgot how to read that word. You can say, okay, great, let's go back and then add that. Or let's say that your child is writing and then all the letters are squished together. And then your child's having a hard time reading back what he or she wrote. You can ask your child, okay, what do you think would help you so you can read it back? Oh, you know what, Mom, I forgot to put spaces. Or I didn't write a lot of the letters that I heard in the word. So anyway, have fun with writing. In the classroom, we always put things up on the wall so they can display their work. We call it publish. So after your child's done with the story, tape it to the refrigerator, tape it to a wall, wherever it is, so that your child is, sees that they're proud of their work and that's something to be displayed. All right, well, have fun. Hope this helped. Okay, bye.